Hello, everyone. If you remember the task that we started in our class and we couldn't finish on time, so I thought to share this video so that we can get a clearer idea before we meet tomorrow for the individual conference. So here is the task on page 182. This is the graph. We were doing data analysis, if you remember, or data commentary. So that 20 is about 9 sentences. Here it's scattered, not arranged in a logical manner, and the task was to arrange it logically. So let's have a look at the response that I prepared, and let's see how logical it sounds. So this is the paragraph, 9 sentences. The first rule of data commentary is we try to find out the location element, right? So we have the location element here. Figure 12 displays. Now the topic, absolute skin temperature of the hand during exercise for PCM and NFM conditions in soccer goalkeeping gloves. That's the summary statement, right? So that's the first rule in data commentary or results section. We start with location element, and then we write the summary statement, what the data or the graph or the chart or table is about, right? And the next sentence, we expect them to be highlighting statements, we call it. So what is a highlighting statement? When we find a significant trend, some regularity or irregularity, any kind of finding that you want to talk about. So let's say, as can be seen, after an initial decrease, hand temperature increase in each condition. So it's talking about both of them, PCM and NFM. It's not narrowing it down. It's still quite broad. And if you look into the example that we practiced about in class, after location element, we find trends or we separate important findings. So let's say the example that we saw in class, table 5 shows, then we write the summary statement. And after that, we have, as can be seen, the majority cases, what happens, you write it down. The next sentence is about, however, it is alarming to note that. So now you are separating the most important finding. Let's see in this passage what we have. We have this significant finding that initial increase happens in both cases, and overall increase. So have a look at the flow of these 2 sentences. Let's have a look at the flow in the whole paragraph, by the way. So we have this. Let's see the subject, an initial increase, an overall increase in temperature in both the sentences. Old to new information has been maintained, if you remember. So this is this information and this information, both are old because we know it. We're talking about temperature, right, of the hand. It's not including the topic of PCM yet. It came very later. So old to new flow. So we'll narrow it down more. When we narrow it down, then we get to the new information. Even in this sentence, however, the increase in each in temperature. So again, we see the similar repetition of keywords, right? Then the PCM gloves are introduced in the later sentences. We'll talk about the organizational structure, just giving you some heads up of how the sentence flow is maintained. So let's get back where we were. We were talking about significant finding and then an explanation of that finding. So that's the structure. So first we have location element and the summary statement. Then we have a significant finding. It's talking about only an initial decrease in hand temperature in each condition. Initial decrease hand temperature. After an initial decrease, hand temperature increased in each condition. So it's talking about actually this. After an initial decrease, so just mentioned about the significant, just an irregularity of the trend. Then both the situation increased, so it's only talking about this. So let's highlight this one. This is our discussion. So the next sentence is explaining an overall increase in temperature. Why I'm saying it's explanation? Because we see since. So when we see such things, it means it's explaining why an overall increase happened. because goalkeeping gloves of any kind prevent heat, and blah blah blah. The next sentence is about a specific goal. So we have a location element summary statement, a significant finding or regular trend or irregularity in the trend, and then a specific goal is mentioned here. However, so whenever a specific goal is talked about, so you are narrowing it down the topic with this. So we still have the same flow. The increase in temperature was more pronounced for PCM. Now we have a new topic, which is not the subject of the sentence, but an object of the sentence, right? In this sentence. In the next sentence, we have it as a subject, which is a wonderful flow. Then it's also explaining about PCM gloves were designed to maintain. So a particular goal is talked about here. What was the objective of PCM gloves? And the next sentence is the claim. However, is repeated here. I would have used nevertheless in the book. The student who wrote this particular sample, I would say it's better if you write nevertheless. We have nevertheless. As can be seen, the PCM gloves did not perform as intended. So now we got a claim. After claim, now we have to reason why and how it happened that PCM gloves did not perform as intended. So the next sentence is reasoning the claim. So it talks about the very specific data, 45-minute exercise period, hand temperature for PCM were consistently higher, right? When exercise stopped, hand temperature of the two conditions fell. So we got solid reasoning for that particular claim. And the next is conclusion. So you reached a conclusion that PCM glove of performance was inferior to the traditional NFM. So that's how this particular task is structured. So now if it seems logical to you, the sequencing, you can have a look at the slide. This slide is also in our Canvas. This is the same slide I used to put that sequence. So if you can click on it and have a look at it. And before we meet next time, I uploaded a video for the discussion chapter. We'll continue the data commentary part and we'll talk about the discussion. So I would request watch this video before the next class. I uploaded the slide also, but we'll discuss it in class, no worries. See ya. Thank you so much. Have a good Easter break and see you in the individual conference.